And that is where the salted, cured, sun-dried pork meat began. Howdy everybody, welcome back to FDG Stages. This is your igorot guy. Kumusta kang kakailians? Kumusta man ang panag-isbuyo? In a country where westernization made and still making our country looks like a town that is photocopy of another town, the igorots of the Cordillera Administrative Region are still trying to survive and keep their identity and heritage. The igorots of the north are one of the few groups in the country who are still carrying some of the purest Filipino bloodline, culture, traditions, identity, and the heritage. Unlike some other Filipino tribes that lost their heritage and became just a mere copy of the colonialist Spain. Igorot people are simple and practical. Since the time of our ancestors, we have been using simple yet complex ways of life in agriculture, social structure, clothing, and food. And since the time of our ancestors, the spirit of simplicity is still existing until now. Remember that the Cordillera Administrative Region was never actually fully subjugated by Spain. Our ancestors kept the independence of the region by resisting and striving for independence for 300 years. So many parts of the Igorot culture and traditions are still being seen practiced today. And of course, one part of the culture is food. One particular food that the Igorots are actually keeping by heart and loving it in every way until now is called Etag. Even before the arrival of the Spaniards in the Philippines in 1500s, there was already a trade happening in the Philippines. They're both local trade and international trade. The international trade were composed of Chinese people coming into the country, Indians, Malays, and others. The local trade, however, in the north of the country, in the mountainous area, were composed of the mountain people, soon to be called Igorots, and the Ilocanos and the Pangasinenses. They were actually business partners doing barter trades. They were exchanging products. Say, for example, silver and gold from the Cordillera, exchange it into salt from the lowlands. And so, before the modern world of refrigerators and freezers, there was salt, and it was actually used by people near the seasides all over the Philippines to preserve food, to prolong the life of any food that can be preserved. So preservation using salt existed all around the country and all over the world. And when salt was bartered to the Igorots of the mountains of the Cordilleras, they adapted to use it to preserve their food too. And that is where the salted, cured, sun-dried pork meat began. Etag is a salt-cured, sun-dried meat, predominantly pork. It's a term coming from the Kankanaey language, and it's believed that it's originated in the mountain province. And please do not be confused with another Kankanaey term called Kiniing. Although they're both practices to preserve meat, they're different in the sense of their ways of preservation. As I said, Etag is salt-cured and sun-dried. On the other hand, Kiniing is salt-cured but smoked. So I hope you are not confused on the two ways of preservation between Etag and Kiniing. So in the different parts of the Cordillera and in the Kaigorotan areas, they do have their related but different languages. Like in the mountain province in northern Benguet, they call it Etag. Some parts of the Cordillera call it Inasin, Sinampay, Bilag. And in the Kalanguyan language, they call it Hinalayhay. Also in Aplay Kankanain, Western Mountain Province, they call it Langub. On the other hand, Kiniing, which is smoked, are called Intapa, Sinapan, Pinsyang, and Kinuday in the different languages of the Cordillera. Some also call it Sinouban. The Etag, after being fully dried from liquid and applied with rock salt thoroughly, the meat is left to dry under the sun on the roof of the house or hang somewhere else outside for a minimum of 7 days. The more days that it stays under the sun, the stronger the taste it gives. The Kiniing. Kiniing in Kankanaey or Kinuday in Ipoloy is hanged above the fireplace to absorb the smoke coming from the firewood. During the olden days, families hang the meat above the fireplace where they cook their food. It wasn't smoke all the time as the family puts off the fire and proceeds to their daily work. And when they come back in the afternoon, they start the fire and the smoking process resumes. I remember when I was a little boy when my dad used to do kinuday or kiniing. I'll still remember the taste, the texture, and the uniqueness that it offers when it's cooked. It's a little bit different with what we have right now in the market. The Highland market today that is full of commercialized Etag and Kiniing. But I don't have anything to say about it because the way that I understand the commercial Kiniing and Etag on today's generation is coming from the heart, a pure love of our culture and heritage. We do actually want to preserve our culture. We want it to stay the same as it is. But the reality is, if we preserved it, it will fade away. And what we are looking at right now is not preserving, it's promoting. And so when we promote our culture, our food to outsiders that we consider the lowlanders, with proper explanation and telling them how our culture, our heritage, and our identity is connected with the food, I'm so 100% sure that an open-minded person will understand and appreciate who we are. We are proud that our forefathers fought for the independence of our region for 300 years. We are proud of that, and we are proud of who we are. We are proud of our culture and our food. We must promote it and share the stories of our ancestors and tell them how we value our ancestors, their works, and how we progressed. The market is so vast right now, and everybody is looking into it, looking for the stories behind the food and the culture, looking for more valuable than just the taste. And I hope that everybody understands what is Kiniing and what is Etag and its essence in the igorot culture and heritage. And that's it for today. Thank you so much, Kakailians, for watching. If you have any topic that you want me to discuss, please put it in the comments down below. Thank you so much. I will see you again on the next video. Cheers.